What's up? This is Gilbert Arenas rocking with the 3-Point Conversion Radio. Y'all tune in. Holla at your boy.
Oh, it was a horrible effort, I thought, by us. The preseason is you're always trying to work on something. We talk a lot about we're trying to create a defensive mentality here, and that takes time, right? But you got to keep getting better, at it. And I just felt like our urgency. I felt like our urgency on the defensive end from the very start of the game was there. And we just didn't stop anything. To be honest, we didn't stop anything. Like they got so many their offense generated a lot of open threes. And then, luckily they just weren't making them because they were getting them. And then they, getting threes, getting out of transition, beating us. Now they starting to get lobs, dunks, and so now you're leaking everywhere, So I was a little disappointed with the urgency there, and even offensively, just turned over. We didn't get anything done today.
I know it's preseason and all, and you've had guys injured and out, but at some point, don't you want to feel good about yourself? Does it feel like you're making progress?
It's funny. I felt that way a few times after some more practices. We put together some pretty good days, and then obviously just kind of never know who's going to play in the game and really get a set rotation and things like that. So you don't expect much. And in the preseason, all you really is expecting is trying to, for us at least, change the mentality a little bit. And that's why a game like today is really disappointing. Not because you lost or because you got beat so badly, but because the mentality wasn't there. That is what we're trying to change, and be better at least. Today, I thought we took a step back there.
Go ahead. I thought it was interesting. I mean, I kept looking over at you, and the first two games I've watched you, it's been like this, very calm, composed. What's going on inside here? Though? How are you able to stay so calm throughout that?
Well, it's. I think that as a coach, I don't think you can be too emotional because there's going to be some great, there's flows, right? So if I'm high up when we rolling, the guys going to feed off that energy. Then if I dip down and I'm negative and I'm this and that, guys going to feed off that energy, right? So I think that you got to find a happy medium in there. That's kind of who I am as a person anyway. But you best believe I'm taking it in, and I'm a competitive dude, and so I'm just still trying to find that. I'm learning too. You know what I'm saying? I'm learning too.
I guess what's the response as a coach from that lack of effort, though? Because I assume if nothing else, you would expect that. So, what does the next day look like for Coach Chauncey Billups?
Yeah, it's funny. I'm a coach that I don't. After games like this, I don't speak in a lot right after because it can be a really, really emotional. Say some things. Sometimes you can't take things back. So I'll watch the game again, or whatever that was. I'll watch that again, and I'll talk to the guys tomorrow. I'll talk to the guys tomorrow about what I've seen. I do feel like we just, stepping too back. Let's see what I don't want to happen is while we're trying to figure this thing out, I don't want everybody to get impatient, and then we just kind of come to team that they win. Just start depending on Damian and CJ and guys that just make shots, pull us out of it. Well, we want those guys and everybody else to make shots, but we want them to make them, created by what we do as a unit. We know that they can do that, so You know, I said it all. I said it again, man. Habits are really hard to change. You know, but you got to be chipping away at it. Today we didn't chip away.
What are you seeing that maybe some of us casual aren't seeing that you can see that, okay, we are?
Well, see, I get a chance to look every day, you know, at practice, and I get a chance to hear some of the conversations that we have as a team and that the guys have with each other, you know, about how important it is to do small things, how important it is to have each other's back and communicate on the defensive end. So I get to see all of that, teach all of that, talk about all of that, whereas you guys only get to see the games for the most part. And so even though you have a game like today where it seems like it's no progress at all, I can tell you that there has been a lot of progress this training camp.
We're a week away.
Week away. Looking forward to it.
Are you ready?
Looking forward to it.
Okay, we're going to go to the Zoom. We got a quick one from Joe Becker with KGW. Go ahead, Joe.
Chauncey, good to see you. How weird was it playing a game in the middle of the afternoon on a Wednesday?
Yeah, it was pretty weird, I guess, man. But for me, I'm you know, I'm experiencing a lot of firsts every week, every couple of days. So it was weird, but I tell you what, I'm really excited that we get to stick around and watch. Hopefully, we do see a good game in this building today. So I'm excited about the WNBA game, to be honest with you.
Next question, we're going to go to Aaron Fentress with the Oregonian.
Hey, Coach, will tonight's performance change the way you approach Friday's game? Will there be sort of a sense of, hey, guys, we have to end the preseason, not even necessarily with a win, but just a good performance, or does it not matter all that much in terms of preparing for the start of the regular season?
Yeah, what matters to me is that, you know, that we just our mentality is that of, you know, a team that wants to be really good at ball club. Wins and losses in the preseason, I could care less about, because we're trying to get somewhere. We're trying to just get better. So even if we won this game today or not, Friday, to me, we're still in training camp. You know, we're still in training camp until that game is over with. So still trying to just get better, you know, on both ends, Aaron.
Can you be more specific about some of the things that you felt you weren't mentally ready for today?
Yeah. So, you know, we talk about, you know, being a lot better transition defense. I feel like they beat us down the court, you know, with the basketball. Sometimes even after makes, they had to take the basketball out, still beat us down the court. That's a lack of focus. I felt like our first effort in the rotations were pretty decent, but we never got to our second and third efforts. And any good defensive team, because let's face it, these guys in the league today are so good. They're gonna break every defense down. So then it becomes, how many efforts can you make to try to catch up? How much can you communicate? You know, when you get beat, somebody take your man, you take that. Like we didn't have second, third, and fourth efforts today. That's a lack of focus. Thought on the other end, 3-point shots that we took a lot of bad 3-point shots, tested threes. That's a lack of penetration to the paint, breaking people down, creating good shots the way that they did us. All right. So I just felt like I didn't think we were focused at all on either side of the ball today.
Nerk got called for 4 offensive fouls. I think they were all on screens. Is there anything there? Was it just him being over aggressive, or are they changing it that they're calling that now?
No, I don't think so. I'm just thinking every year, every preseason, there's a lot of points of emphasis. And they ref it a lot tighter. You know, Nerk's one of the better screeners in the league. And, you know, some of those are probably fouls today. It's preseason for everybody.
Okay.
Good.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you.
Okay, fire away.
Well, where are you on the scale of preseason and you guys didn't look good?
We didn't look good. I think the easy thing to say is, oh, it's preseason, but I mean, preseason, you get beat like that, you get beat. You know, that's an ass whooping. So, you know, we were kind of lost and all over the place defensively. And they made us work. You know, they got us to get in the rotations, fly around. They got a good look. It seemed like every possession. And you know, we didn't do ourselves any favors by not making them do the same thing offensively. We made it pretty easy for them. When the team is making you work defensively, then on your offensive end, you know, we letting them off the hook time and time again. You know, they're getting encouraged by it, and they're able to also sustain that energy level by pushing the ball fast, playing at that pace, because they're not having to work defensively and offensively. They get it, you know, however they want it. So it was we just didn't play a good game. You know, I think it showed that they reached that championship level, and they figured out a style that suits their team, and they're good at it. They know what they need to get to. Everybody comes in and they do their jobs, and they execute. They get to what they want to get to, and they do it consistently. And I think it showed that we're obviously not there yet. You know, still a work in progress.
Do you feel like you guys need to have either a game or even a stretch of a game where you feel good about yourselves before you start the regular season?
I think that would be good, but you know, it's not the end of the world if we don't. You know? So I think because everybody is in the preseason mind frame of like, this doesn't count. You know, you don't go out there and not play the game hard or the right way, but you know that it's like a tune-up. You know, you're just trying to work out the kinks. You're getting used to playing in games again. We got a whole new system. We got a new staff. You know, we're just trying to like figure it out. So I don't think it's a situation where like we need to be feeling good about ourselves or it's going to be bad. You know, I think as long as we don't look at it like, oh, it's just because it's the preseason, when you know, it's a lot of these things can carry over to the regular season. And we continue to work at it and stay together and have a better understanding of why those things are happening. You know, I think then we put ourselves in a position to where it just is going to come a time where it clicks. Mm-hmm. That's where I think it is. But a lot of us have been in the league for a while now. You know, once it's time to really go, and you know, these games are really counting. The urgency and you know, possession to possession, I think it's just different. You know what I'm saying? It's hard to explain, but you know, I think it's a balance of understanding this preseason and also knowing like this is not going to cut it. You know, and that's where I am.
All right. Do you feel like you guys are making progress? I mean, you've watched a game, you've played in 2 games. Like, can you see you guys building towards something?
In moments, you know, I think sometimes it's just like, man, how did that happen? You know, it's like concerning. And then we have a stretch where I'll be like, all right, you know, we just got to be more consistent at it. But, you know, I just from watching last game, it was like, okay, we was better in transition. We were getting good looks. Tonight, we started off getting some good looks, but it's more just like in spurts. You know, we'll have a few good possessions where we play good defense, and then, you know, we give up offensive rebound, or we'll be in a good position and the wrong person will rotate, and then it'll be 2 people guarding 1 person, and they swing it to an open 3. So it's like we're getting to where we need to be, but you know, we just not consistent at it. You know, it's always something that'll break up, you know, us putting possessions together, offensively and defensively. But that's how it is. You know, it goes like that. Like I said, we are a completely different coaching staff. We're learning a completely different system, and we're trying to change habits. You know, and when you're trying to change habits, you have a lot of bumps in the road. You know, especially when you've been one way for so long.
We're going to go to the Zoom real quick. Case, we'll come back to you. Aaron Fentress, you got a question?
Yeah, Billups said that there was some issues with, you know, maybe even just effort, as simple as that. Is this where accountability starts to kick in now, where it's like, hey, that can't be an excuse anymore, right? That can't be a thing.
Yeah, I mean, anytime effort is an issue, it comes into play where that's just not. If anything, it should be a miscommunication or a misunderstanding or something like that. I don't think effort should ever, be something that we point at and say this is a part of why we struggle, because we're not one of those teams that can go out there and win a game with anything less than a full effort. So that's an issue and something that obviously is going to be addressed if that's what you said.
Go ahead, Keisha.
I think that offensively, like if you want to get a bucket, like you feel pretty confident you can go out and get one. Do you have to stop yourself from doing that at this point, just because you're like, we need to try to do this maybe a different way?
Exactly. I mean, it's like today, for example, in the first quarter, it was like 15-6
Yeah.
for a while. And that's where I say, like, you got to also have that understanding of this is the preseason, because I'm looking at the clock like this is a moment where typically I would be like, all right, I'm going to take control for the next 4 minutes and I'm going to be more aggressive. But instead, I literally thought to myself in the middle of the game, like, we have to let the action work for us and try to, play off of the movement and pass ahead, drive, kick. That's what I was thinking in my head. We got to figure it out now. So once we get to the regular season, like, we're comfortable and, we trust the next person to make the next play and to get to the next thing. So that's like a preseason thing. So maybe if I'm like, okay, I noticed that Aiden is back on a couple of those pick and rolls. This is a regular season game. I'm like, all right, 15-6. He's back. I'm calling Nurk up high and I'm coming downhill. I'm pulling up 3. And I'm going to see when he's going to come up. If you stay back again, I'm going to shoot it again. And in my head, it's a chance that it could be 15-12. And now they got to change. They got to change what they're doing. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And then we adjust from there. So like, stuff like that could completely change how this game goes. But my head is like, we want to get in the paint, kick it, step up, swing it, slip out of this screen, get into the paint, drive, kick, swing. Like, that's been the emphasis for us. So it's just like a habit thing. Instead of me going to what I know I'm capable of doing, I want to go to or trust in what we've been preaching for our entire training camp, see how it works out. So that was an example of that.
Yeah.
I mean, how do you want to handle the final game? You want to sit, play the whole game?
I mean, today was probably, I knew I was going to play 20 plus minutes today. But, I probably won't play next one. We'll see. I probably won't play. I want to start getting ready for the regular season. I think I have a good understanding of what we're trying to do. I feel good on the floor. And I don't think, one game is going to just all of a sudden be like, all right, we're ready now. I want to be healthy, I want to be fresh, and just be prepared for that. So I'm not 100% sure that that's what the plan is, but I would assume so.
Good. I don't know. Thanks, Dave.